So a highly impressive draw tonight for the Republic of Ireland against the Soviet Union. And watching that match in their hotel in Dusseldorf, Bryan Robson and Gary Lineker of England. They're talking now with Jim Rosenthal.
Thank you very much, Nick, and good evening from Dusseldorf. In fact, we just interrupted the players' dinner to pull the two boys out, so we're grateful for that. Gary, just looking back on this afternoon's game, and a lot of people are going to criticise you probably for the chances that went begging once again. What's your view of it?
Well, I only have one, I think. That was a little bit of a tight angle. I felt it was a little bit unfortunate it never went in, but that's the way it's been these two games. I don't think we've had the breaks. Obviously, we're very, very disappointed. I don't think we've given or played as well as we can. And we're just sorry for everybody back home that we haven't got through to the semi-finals at least, and there's not a lot else we can say. We're disappointed.
Bryan Robson, I know you came here with very high hopes indeed. From a personal point of view, how disappointing is it for you?
Well, it's disappointing for all the lads. For the first time, I think we come to a championship really believing that we could do really well in the competition, and it hasn't turned out like that. But I think looking back, you know, there hasn't been too much luck going with us. We've created about 8 or 9 chances in the 2 games, and unfortunately the ball just hasn't gone in the back of the net for us. I mean, even when you look back to Glenn Hoddle's free kick today, I mean, it hits the inside of the post, and the ball just didn't seem to go in the net for us.
Just a comment from you, Gary. Already people are wondering about Bobby Robson's future. How do the players feel about Bobby being in charge?
Well, I mean, he's been in charge for 6 years. We've qualified for the last 2 tournaments. We're the people that haven't done it at the end of the day. We're the ones who've not knocked it into the net. So, I mean, we're with the manager we always have been, and we'll continue to give all our best as long as he's in charge.
Gary, Bryan, thanks very much indeed. Let's go back to London.
Thanks very much, Jim. And indeed, as Jim said, it's good of Gary and Bryan to come out from their meal tonight, especially when they've had such a disappointing day against the Dutch in Hanover, in Dusseldorf, shall I say. Right, Saint.
Yes.
Bit of disappointment in a way, but my goodness, what a great performance.
Yes, I know, but I said before the game, you know, if the Irish got a draw, I'd be delighted. Now, I've got to be delighted, but at the same time, tempered with, you know, the feeling of it was all there, it was almost there, and, you know, had John Aldridge knocked a chance in. And how John Aldridge has gone 17 games, I do not know, Nick. 17 games without scoring. I mean, there's a boy that's scored at every level he's ever played at.
Yeah.
And yet he can play 17 games and not score a goal. I mean, that chance. Oh, it was a marvellous chance. I mean, you know, Galvin put it on a plate for him and he knocked it over. I mean, to be fair to John, he ran, he chased, he harried, he played ever so well. But he just, I mean, the English boys were talking about them not having any breaks. John Aldridge really hasn't had any breaks. He's not been able to get the rubber green at all.
If you'd been asked before the game what you'd be pleased with on behalf of the Republic, what would you have said?
Well, I said a draw. I would be pleased for a draw for them. They certainly warranted the draw, that was for sure, you know. They played well enough. I was disappointed with the Russians. Ron in the stadium said he was disappointed as well, because we were looking to the Russians to show that they were one of the top sides, and they didn't do it. But maybe it's because the Irish are not a bad side.
Exactly.
And the Irish
let them play.
Sure. I mean, Jack's tactics of making them turn, you know, playing balls into corners, and it's difficult to play against the Irish because they're all very enthusiastic. They have 1 or 2 quality players, you know, in the middle of the field there. Ronnie Whelan, you know, scored a marvellous goal tonight, but Ronnie Whelan started the season off in that position, central midfield, and I thought, this is your position, Ronnie, because I'd seen him play wide on the left for years. But in the middle of the field, he was playing terrific. And I thought, this is it, son, this is your position. And then he got his injury and, of course, had to, you know, miss half the season. But coming back to international level in that position, I think he was terrific. You know, Liam said he thought he was the man of the match, and
Saint,
I would go along with that.
Indeed. A brief look at the Group 2 table before we close. And there you see the Republic of Ireland on 3 points and the Soviet Union 3. Holland on 2, England failing to score. Well, that's it for tonight. We're back again on Friday evening to wrap up Group 1 with another all-or-nothing match, West Germany against Spain, the winner going through. Highlights also of the other Group 1 game that evening, Italy against Denmark. That's Friday at 7. Later tonight in most regions, and I suggest you check your TV times, you can see the whole of the England-Scotland match. That's at 12:35. Have a stiff drink first. Think of Bobby Robson. Good night.
I really think that what we had out there was the best, and we've given it all of our best attempts. And we couldn't really have got. We really couldn't have asked anything more from the players. They've made mistakes and got punished for it.